your thing.
Show up in the studio, bump out a couple of those, get your check, and off you go.
He could probably get paid for that, to do that on someone's track.
Oh, I'm sure he
Because they
does.
just say featuring Rick Ross.
It's Rick Ross.
Boss.
I'm going to pull a couple questions off Twitter. We reached out to our listeners earlier. Someone who tweets by the name of Sheeran Donut. I don't know what that means exactly. What are you most looking forward to over the next few months?
The album coming out, yeah. The album coming out. I hope it doesn't leak before it comes out. Everyone's album seems to leak nowadays because you have to send it to a warehouse before it gets released for it to get printed up and stuff. So I hope it doesn't leak because it's been so long in the making. But yeah, the album coming out and touring. Touring doesn't really end though. We've kind of been on tour. Well, if you were to count just gigging, I've been on tour for like 8 years, but the actual promotional tour, it's been 3 years now that we haven't stopped. It's just been constant.
Do you want to stop? I mean, do you need a break?
I did, yeah, I did. And then I made the album, and that took a bit longer than expected. And now I'm here.
All right, well, we're very, very glad to have you back. One more question. How's Graham?
Graham's good, yeah, Graham's good. Graham got used, does anyone watch Game of Thrones? Anyone? Do you watch Game of Thrones?
I've seen it a couple times.
So anyway, one of the actors from Game of Thrones is now having a music career, and Graham got used on his album cover photo shoot. Without my knowledge, my manager's girlfriend is like a makeup stylist for like all these big photo shoots. She works with a lot of models and stuff, which is always nice to hang around with people like that. And yeah, just one day she was like, "Going to take Graham for the day," and I was like, "All right." And she popped off with Graham and then came back and was like, yeah, he's like on the front cover of this dude's album now. So Graham's going to be... Actually, Graham's got like 106,000 Twitter followers anyway.
Of course he does. I mean, well, I'm not surprised. For people who don't know, Graham is a very charismatic kitten that Ed rescued.
He thinks he's a parrot as well, who just sits on your shoulder. And you know when cats are like in a car moving, but they stay totally still, but their bodies just move like that? So he's kind of on your shoulder as a parrot, but just kind of...
Does Graham like your music?
No. Graham's still got some street sensibilities about him. Like he's a proper hood cat. Like he's got there's Stanley and Suki, the two other cats in the house who are fully grown cats, and he just kicks the shit out of them. Right. But then he's cool and chilled and he's calm. He's relaxed. But if anyone steps on his turf, he'll cat their ass. Yeah. And the worst thing was, because he's a kitten and kittens are meant to eat kitten food because they can't digest cat food, but he would just steal the big cat's food and then shit everywhere. All over, like my pillow, my bed, the carpet, and kitten shit is not the one to clean up.
Well, kittens are super cute, but that takes away a lot of the cute right there.
Yeah, but he'd kind of do it and then try and cover it up, so he'd do it and then he'd just sit on it. But then so you'd have to get the wet wipes and then wash him, and yeah, just the first couple of weeks of his existence were messy ones and smelly ones. I always had to keep the window open because it just smelled of death. Sorry. So what happens when you have kids, you know?
That's real talk right there, people. All right, just so you know. We have Ed Sheeran in Studio C. He's got a new album on the way called Multiply. That's out next month. The headline Star Party tonight, and you got a huge headlining tour coming up for the rest of the year, and you're coming back to town this fall. We'll talk about that in a second, but let's get our third song, all right?